1. Miss Jonah, a literature professor, wants to present historical movements in Philippine literature. What is the most appropriate teaching tool for Miss Jonah to use? A. Timeline. B. Cluster map. C. Venn diagram. D. Story map. A. Timeline. 2. This type of evaluation measures a student's progress at the end of a given period. A. Validating test. B. Reliability index. C. Instructional outcomes. D. Summative test. D. Summative test. 3. Which among the statements below does not characterize effective classroom management? A. It teaches students to depend on others for self-control and self-regulation. B. It redirects misbehavior quickly once it occurs. C. It respects cultural norms and creeds of students. D. Strategies are uncomplicated that they can be enforced consistently. A. It teaches students to depend on others for self-control and self-regulation. 4. Which of the following does not encourage student participation? A. Quiet members are allowed to remain quiet and passive. B. During discussion, feelings and emotions are allowed to be in the open. C. The teacher shows empathic listening toward all her students. D. Directions are given clearly and concisely by the teacher. A. Quiet members are allowed to remain quiet and passive. 5. Under the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which has been provided as official languages for purposes of communication and instruction. A. Filipino only. B. Filipino, English, and Spanish. C. English only. D. Filipino and English. D. Filipino and English. 6. When teachers behave themselves with respect and preserve good ethics and decorum both within and outside the classroom, which of the following school teacher attributes is indicated? A. Quality teaching. B. Service. C. Professionalism. D. Self-worth. C. Professionalism. 7. Based on elements of profession, can the taxi driver be considered a professional? A. Yes, because there is such a term as professional driver. B. Yes, if the taxi driver is competent and honest. C. No, because driving is not a college or university degree. D. It depends on the technical and ethical competence of the taxi driver. C. No, because driving is not a college or university degree. 8. Behaviorism is a philosophy that has been anchored on the theories that relate to 1. Trial and error. 2. Stimulus and response. 3. Brain and thinking. A. 1 only. B. 1 and 2. Circa 1, 2 and 3. D. 2 only. B. 1 and 2. 9. The kind of learning that is not outwardly manifested immediately is A. Latent. B. Symbolic. C. Iconic. D. Anal. A. Latent. 10. Dr. Goulart, the school physician, conducted a yearly physical examination on Mr. Castro's class. The quantitative increase observed by Dr. Goulart in terms of height and weight demonstrates the concept of A. Maturation. B. Development. C. Growth. D. Learning. C. Growth. 11. Which of the following situations point to norm referencing? A. Christine ranked in the 98th percentile of the INMAT passes. B. Rachel only got 3 errors on the quiz. C. Aileen will represent the class in the school quiz. B. D. Karen failed the exam. A. Christine ranked in the 98th percentile of the INMAT passes. 12. Which of the following situations constitute as assessment as learning? A. Gary actively volunteers during class recitations to show proof of learning. B. Gary keeps track of all his test scores to monitor his learning progress. C. Gary provides constructive feedback to his teachers to evaluate their instruction method. D. Gary exerts extra effort in assembling his portfolio because it accounts for a big chunk of his final grade. B. Gary keeps track of all his test scores to monitor his learning progress. 13. Which statement is true? A. Outcomes-based education model is focused on the instruction method to achieve the outcomes. B. The outcomes should be observable and measurable to fully gauge a student's learning. C. The assessment method planning comes before the outcomes planning. D. Educational measurement can only be done by paper and pen tests. B. The outcomes should be observable and measurable to fully gauge a student's learning. 13. During his lesson on violins, teacher Jay brought his own violin so that his students can practice. This is faithful to this philosophy. A. Idealism. B. Realism. C. Perennialism. D. Progressivism. D. Progressivism. 14. Teacher Lisa brought a white mouse in the class during a discussion about mammals. The white mouse is a device commonly known as Realia. Teacher can bring Realia only when it is A. Available. B. Feasible. C. Affordable. D. Workable. B. Feasible. 15. Principal George reminded the teachers to always construct an answer key to ensure that measurement is still blank even if other people correct the test. A. Objective. B. Subjective. C. Valid. D. Standard. A. Objective. 16. Which among these terms is the most encompassing in the context of applying technology in the teaching-learning process? A. Information technology. B. Instructional technology. C. Educational technology. D. Technology in technology. C. Educational technology. 17. Which is the most critical consideration when choosing an instructional material? A. Learning content. B. Learning outcomes. C. Durability. D. Aesthetic appeal. B. Learning outcomes. 18. A child submitted a poor written report but packaged with brightly colored paper. This showcases A. Art over academics. B. Substance over forma. C. Art over science. D. Forma over substance. D. Forma over substance. 19. According to Krathwohl's effective domain of objectives, blank is the lowest level of effective behavior. A. Valuing. B. Organization. C. Responding. D. Characterization. C. Responding. 20. Thelma always waits at her neighbor James every morning. She enjoys seeing him while biking and imitates the actions of James while she rides her own bike. Who is the proponent of social learning theory which applies in the situation? A. Bandura. B. Kohlberg. C. Bruner. D. Skinner. A. Bandura. 21. Venus is an exemplification of feminine pulchritude. Pulchritude means A. Plain, B. Beauty, C. Ugliness, D. Homeliness. B. Beauty. 22. This classroom practice is not recommended because it does not promote sound classroom management. A. Enforcing firm and fair discipline in the classroom. B. Applying rules and regulations on a case-to-case basis. C. Developing a system of coming in and going out of the room. D. Establishing rules, regulations, and routines starting on the first day of school. B. Applying rules and regulations on a case-to-case basis. 23. Teacher Esther can exercise legitimate authority in the classroom by way of A. Accepting her students the way they are. B. Acting, in loco parentis, towards all her students. C. Instilling the importance of good grades. D. Making them realize that she knows her subject matter with full mastery. B. Acting in loco parentis towards all her students. 24. Kuhnen asserts that one of the characteristics of an effective manager is with-itness, which principle serves as the basis of with-itness. A. Have a mouth ready to speak at any time. B. Have minds packed with intellect and alertness. C. Have hands that will write fast. D. Have eyes at the back of one's head. D. Have eyes at the back of one's head. 25. Teacher Jane is interested in establishing the stability of an achievement test in mathematics. Which of the following methods will provide the most relevant information? A. Equivalent forms. B. Test-retest. C. Split half. D. Kuder-Richardson. B. Test-retest. 26. Analects which are short and witty sayings that treat of moral values and good human relation are attributed to A. Mao Zedong. B. Mencius. C. Confucius. D. Lao Tzu. C. Confucius. 27. What kind of activity is being engaged in by teacher and students? Discuss concept description, definition, and application. A. Psychomotor. B. Cognitive. C. Values inculcation. D. Affective. B. Cognitive. 28. Which of the following situations can show that a teacher is chill in a tense situation? A. Not alone, but with peers. B. Not revengeful, but forgiving. C. Not excited, but calm. D. Not passive, but active. C. Not excited, but calm. 29. Who has main responsibility for a classroom management plan? A. The teacher. B. The supervisor. C. The principal. D. The students. A. The teacher. 30. In what activity can learners claim to be learning independently or managing their own learning? A. Doing research studies. B. Listening to a lesson presentation. C. Copying diagrams on the blackboard. D. Doing math addition drills. A. Doing research studies. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11.